Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the Hay House haberdashery herself, Sandy Reevy.
Hi, everybody, from our hotel room in Tampa.
Yes, it is episode 252, May 22nd. Let's get right into it. Today, Sun sextile Mars.
Going the correct way.
Tuesday, May 23rd, Mars square Jupiter.
Impulsive, slow down.
Friday, May 26th, Venus sextile Uranus.
Unusual, social ability.
And Sunday, May 28th, Sun squares Saturn.
Choose wisely.
Then in Talisman Times, we have our last week of the Talisman of the Month to gather successfully in group activity. And on the horizon, we have our June forecast coming up this Saturday and our retreats on the horizon. Then in our house, Sandy and I are at the Hay House I Can Do It conference. Listen in to hear about how our community is growing. Stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you.
Hello, Hay House haberdashery.
Woo! It's late at night. We're
It is.
recording this podcast from our beds.
Yep, in our hotel rooms here in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, man.
It has been a really wonderful weekend at the Hay House event, and really, we can do it. It has been so much fun. Our community is growing, and people finding their talismans. It's been wonderful.
We have done, all the Hay House events over the last 8 years, except for that little break that we all had. And this is the first show back, right?
It is the first in person.
And all the speakers are here. Not just the participants that want to show up, right, to gather the information. Our vendor friends are here, and all of our speakers. And we're just so delighted to be back in telling our story having mobbed. We are mobbed at the booth, and that's why we're so tired.
Yeah.
Our feet hurt, our legs hurt, we're not eating right. It's 15-hour days. But all for this beautiful excitement and enlightenment.
Yes.
We pop into some of the classes.
We're going to talk more about this.
Oh, okay.
We're going to talk more about this in our house. So I want to go direct to all of you and say thank you so much for listening in to this podcast. It is so wonderful to hear your feedback, to see your reviews. Don't forget to give us those reviews, especially to our new listeners. Hello, everybody, and welcome in. It is wonderful to have you here at Astrological Intentions, where my mom, Sandy, and I give you the rundown of what's going on astrologically. If you do have any feedback, remember you can email me, alex@intentionbeads.com, or wherever you listen to the podcast, give us a review on the platform. Okay, let's move into In the Transits, where we're going to chat about what's coming up this week, starting with today, Monday, May 22nd.
Yeah, the sun has just moved into Gemini, and sun in Gemini is making a sextile to Mars. And this is about going the correct way. And we need to check in here with ourselves, right? Think about your circumstances, right? And the consequences if you go the wrong way. We did that tonight.
Literally, we took a wrong turn.
We had to walk twice as far because we made that we weren't going the right way. So we had a consequence. Now, the sun making a sextile to Mars is a opportunistic opportunity, but it's making sure you're going the right way in the chosen path, right? Because Mercury is the ruler of the Gemini, where the sun is sitting. And it's, 24 degrees away from the sun. So it's not under the combustion. It's not combust. It's not under the beams of the sun, and it's ready to help you. So be ready and willing for, having a challenge. And the reason why I talk about the challenge is it's Mars. And Mars is a malefic, and Mars is in the fire sign of, it's just gotten out of the wet sign and fall. And now he thinks in Cancer. And now he thinks he has this, pent up energy that he can move forward, and it just can
a little bit more
drag you.
Well, or a little bit more on the bravado side. So if there is this challenge, it could be good to bring up the courage, bring up that sense of playfulness, and remember that it could be a risk, but it's worth it.
It's kind of making sure that you understand, like, don't let anybody take you by the hand and pull you, right? Have some discernment on, the Gemini part of asking questions. Where are we going? How, this is not about spontaneity, right? This is about being prepared.
Okay.
All right. So you know which way you're going. Okay.
And let's move into Tuesday, May 23rd, Mars square Jupiter.
Impulsive. Here's Mars again, right? Mars is buttoned up now to a square to Jupiter. And this is at, a 1 degree in each sign. So slow down. Slow down to be sure. Again, where Jupiter is in Taurus, which is in a earth fixed sign, and Mars is in a fire fixed sign. So, staying true, staying on the path. Discretion and moderation are winning words today. Try them on for size, and don't be too big for these pants, right? It's wanting to take things in little bite-sized pieces. You'll get further that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Friday, May 26th, Venus sextile Uranus.
Yeah, and this is with reception. And reception meaning that Uranus is in Taurus, so that is ruled by Venus, and Venus is making a sextile here. And so this is unusual social ability. I know it's Friday, so it could be, party night and getting together with your friends night. Maybe it's a meetup group that you have never been to.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's like try on something new. You may love it. You may surprise yourself. It's kind of that you look marvelous kind of attitude, with the new and more you. Right, it's Venus, Uranus. Like, let's shake it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's do something.
Change up your social scene.
Yeah.
All right. And Sunday, May 28th, Sun squares Saturn.
Choose wisely. This is a square. Sun will square Saturn twice a year. This is one of them. So, is there some delay in activities, and just delay it for just one day, right? The sun moves 1 degree a day. So by Monday, that the sun will be separating from this square to Saturn. So take the edge off yourself. Rest. It's Memorial Day.
Oh, that's right.
Memorial Day weekend, I should say.
Yes. Okay, so that's a wrap on this week. It is a little bit on the shorter side, so enjoy. And let's move on to the Talisman Times. We don't have any finish nor any upcoming. However, we do have the Talisman of the Month, which is up on the website, and it is to gather successfully in group activity. These Talismans of the Month are on special for $222, and you get a shipping credit that will make the shipping free for you. So go ahead and click that link in the show notes and head over to go shop the Talisman of the Month. On the horizon, we have our June astrology forecast. That is with Sandy and fellow astrologer Susan Goodell. On May 27th, they have both a live forecast where they go through all of the dates for June and a downloadable cheat sheet that you can download and print, have by your desk, or follow along with Sandy and Susan as they do their live forecast. So for this event, you can watch live if you head over to our Patreon account, and that is patreon.com/chattingwiththestars. Of course, the link is in the description if you need it. Shall we talk about...
More about Hay House?
Well, I think so. So let's move into our house. We are in Tampa, Florida at the first Hay House I Can Do It conference live since COVID. It's been really wonderful to see everyone. And yeah, we just want to chat quick before...
2,200 people. That's a lot of people.
It is. It is.
And we're at the convention center, and it's, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., and it's just all the yummies and the goodies. And, of course, we get booth right next to my friend Colette Barron-Reed, who got another bracelet. Wore it on stage tonight. Just Rebecca Campbell, which is a great story. That was a...
I think that would be cool, a cool story to tell.
Let's tell that story.
Okay. So one of our community members was, of course, she's a big supporter of ours, and she was also in the Mystic School with Rebecca Campbell. And there was something that spoke to her in one of these classes that was all about ancestry, and she had gone onto our website and wanted to gift Rebecca Campbell a present, one of our intention bracelets, to send over to her in the UK. We made it all happen, all of the international shipping and customs forms, and went ahead and shipped it over to her as a surprise. As soon as that bracelet went over to England, it disappeared. We could not track it. We could not figure out what happened to it ever since it was sent into customs, and it went nowhere.
That was about 1 or 2 years ago.
Yep.
So, as disappointing as that was for all of us, except that Rebecca didn't know it was ever coming, right? So here's Rebecca here at the Hay House show. She is giving I went into her hour and a half lecture on what is your soul calling you to do. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk to her afterwards. I mean, she's mobbed. She was signing books. And so weirdly, I waited to the end, and she looked up at me and said, hi. And I said, hi, Rebecca. I introduced myself. I said, I have a wonderful, crazy story. And so I said, somebody that's in your mystery school and somebody that follows us on Intention Beads purchased a talisman for you, and you never received it, and it just went missing in UK. I would love for you to come over to my booth and choose one of your liking from this woman, right? And she says, oh my gosh, that is so crazy. I'll be right over. And so about an hour later, here she comes walking into the booth, and what a beautiful woman, right? And she listened to what we did and looked at and she chose one, and I did the activation. You grabbed some pictures.
Yes.
And I'm going to let this woman know who purchased it that she got full circle.
Finally, she got her talisman, and it was
she got to pick it out personally, and I did an activation in person.
Yes.
So very, very grateful. She was so happy I told her the story. She was so thankful to this woman for thinking of her and gifting it to her. And so now I'm going to send the pictures to this lady. Yeah.
Finally, we made it happen.
Yeah. So that was a really, really cool story.
Yeah, and there's just been really wonderful things happening where the synchronicities are coming. All of a sudden, people are finding their talisman, wearing their talisman, and then all of a sudden a big momentous occasion happens and they can't believe it. And they
run back, my bracelet.
Oh my goodness, you'll never believe it. And so it's that type of community, it's that type of excitement, and it's that type of sense of where we can move mountains. Those mountains that we think are there, really they dissolve little by little here at these conferences, and here when you have a talisman at your side where you can really focus in and support and give yourself that courage. So I'm very grateful for everyone in the community. Anyone new here on the podcast listening in, it is a really special coming together of all like-minded individuals who are working on themselves and a bigger picture for the world. And it's cool to be around it.
It really is. It's almost like no words. You just smile the whole time. I mean, we get drained, right? It's a lot of energy for everyone. And to stay grounded, right? It's like eat protein, eat protein to stay grounded, because you want to just fly into the cosmos here, because it's
a lot of air. It's a lot of thinking. It's a lot of communicating, but it also is. It's easy to drop into heart and into emotions too when you're hearing people's stories, and that for me is very powerful to hear somebody chat about where they've been, what they're doing right now, and their visions for their future. And what an amazing conversation to have at a conference. Because when you think of a conference, it's more like, what company do you work for and what do you do, right? But here it's like, we work for the same company, humanity, and what do you want to do for your soul purpose?
Right. What are you working on? Right. It's more about what are you working on. It's not what do you do.
Right. Who are you being?
And I love it when you get the answer. I'm still working on that.
Right.
I still don't know.
And I love
search.
that.
You're searching. You're in the right place.
Totally.
Oh man, and they did try and nudge, one of the Hay House. I'm like, are you guys having another one? Because typically they have 2 or 3 a year. Back in the day.
Right.
And we look forward to all those. And I said, are you doing another one? They're like, yeah, there's one in planning. I said, is it this year? They're like, no. So it'll be 2024.
Okay.
So put it on your as soon as we announce it, or you see it in an email from Hay House, if you're on direct. In fact, there's someone here that's a regular client and who brought her daughter because she's like, oh, that's
and we finally got to meet in person after so many Zoom calls.
So that was awesome. There's people that are coming up to me going, I remember you here. The one lady that had the orbit, another lady that had a bracelet, people that remember me from she beads.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. It is. It's so much fun. We have a blast here. It's really chatting with our community, chatting with our people. So, yeah, I think that's a wrap on our episode today.
We need to go to bed. We got another day of it.
Yes, it is a short episode. Normally we're about 30 to 40 minutes, but we're going to be wrapping up a little bit early this week. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining us for another week on the podcast. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for joining in on this episode. Don't forget to give us your feedback, alex@intentionbeats.com, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story of you. The story of you, the story